you, Ave, for being here, and congratulations on receiving an honourable mention in the 2020 Middle East Prism Awards. Can you tell me what that's like for you to have received that award?
Thanks very much, Veronica, for having me here. And it is incredible feeling, actually, to be able to receive recognition for the work you've been doing. Because very often as coaches, we just go in and we do our work, and we don't really see the bigger picture. With the ICF Middle East Prism Award, it was a possibility to actually go back and analyze and find some facts about it. So it was great in terms of seeing the impact that we as coaches have on an organization. And obviously it was great to know that we were one of the best in the Middle East, which is fantastic. It's a big achievement for Oman.
It's a real honour, isn't it? And what did it mean for OMIFCO?
OMIFCO also, they didn't expect to win. Especially during this ceremony when the finalists were announced, they were like, oh my God, Dubai airports and Qatar Financial Center, what chance do we have? So they were literally surprised. They were said, like, what? It's us? We got an honorary mention. So it was a big surprise for MIFCO as well, but they were very pleased and very honored to be in such a strong company of competitors and still get an honorable mention.
Yeah, wonderful. So I think I need to back up a little bit and tell me a little bit about OMIFCO.
OMIFCO stands for Oman India Fertilizer Company. And it's a manufacturing company that obviously makes fertilizers. So it's a joint venture. And they've been operating very successful for quite some time already. They're actually one of the really successful companies in Oman. And the impetus to get started on a coaching program was actually coming from the board of directors, who really wanted the leadership to be more proactive and take more initiative when it comes to everyday and innovative projects. So that's where it came from. It came from the board of directors wanting to change the organizational culture.
It's not a very old organization, though, is it, Ave? So was the culture embedded, or were you coming in kind of early enough to be able to change that?
Well, I guess it has been embedded, even though I think it's 15, 16 years old, but it still had been embedded culture already. So it was a very, hierarchical way of doing things, as it is typical for the Middle East, I would dare to say. And they wanted to get rid of this, that, only the top man has to decide everything. They wanted to really get people taking the initiative and thinking for themselves.
So tell me a bit about what you did to enable that to happen, and about the coaching program that you initiated.
Actually, it was initiated by OMIFCO, let's say this way, that OMIFCO went to Takatuf Oman. Takatuf Oman is the company that I was representing as an associate coach, and together they designed a full leadership development program for OMIFCO. So I only did the coaching part, but there was also the training part that included leadership training that was facilitated by Takatuf. So the part that I came in for was individual coaching and team coaching. So it was really two phases. In the first phase, it was initial batch of senior leaders, and they all received individual coaching sessions, and they all also were coached as a team together to work better together as a team.
So you were the nominating coach for the award. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and in there, Ave, tell me a bit more then about the whole program as it rolled out, because that was what won the award, essentially, was the overall rather than just the individual coaching, wasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And one important part as well, that all of the participants actually received the coaching skills for managers training. So that I think that was one of the critical factors also for winning the award, was that the coaching was available to entire organization, because the people who participate in the program was the entire senior management team, which included everybody who was managing people, or was a line manager, as they're called. So they were coached individually and received team coaching, and also were trained in coaching skills to have coaching conversations at work.
It's very comprehensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I know that the ICF research talks about, a number of criteria to make a coaching culture. And one of those is having external coaches and internal coaches and managers and leaders using coaching skills. Mm-hmm. Was that your experience in your work with OMIFCO?
Yeah, I think it's really critical to have a comprehensive program. And I think another critical success factor was that the senior leadership was really engaged and made sure that people were taking the program seriously. Because, maybe a difference, sometimes people do get coaching and it's more like a one-off coaching. But if you don't make this change in the organizational culture, and if there is no sponsorship from the top management, it's going to be like a one-off, and then it ends up dying in the end, because you can't fight the environment and the culture, as an individual or even as a small group of individuals. But yes, the senior management was very supportive and sponsoring of the program, and 3% of the total workforce and all of the line managers went through the program, which gave it also the depth and the width, so that you didn't get lost being the only team or the only department who's trying to change the culture in the entire organization.
That's fascinating, isn't it? So it actually means that everybody was either experiencing coaching directly, or the person they reported to had learned some coaching skills, so therefore they were experiencing it from one of their line managers.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And what do you think were the benefits to OMIFCO for you in implementing a coaching culture?
Well, we did a survey, and in the survey we included, what there were critical success factors that were set out, that what they wanted to change, and what we got back was very good results, that this program actually had improved. First of all, it had improved the participants' understanding of the company goals and mission and vision. And it also improved communication skills of the participants. It improved their ability to lead people. And we surveyed not only the participants, but also people who they reported to them and the ones who they reported to. And also they noticed the difference in the participants. And the people who reported to the participants, they also said that as a result of that, they feel more engaged in their work. They feel like they understand their department mission better, and are able to contribute better. And they found that their manager is giving them now a better environment to work in.
It sounds like if you ran a employee engagement survey, that the results would be significantly different from when you started.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in terms of, so that was the survey that you did in terms of measurement. Were there any other measures that you used to determine the success of the program?
Not like hard facts. So this was our hard facts. That was the survey that we used to determine the results. Yes.
Ave, I think my internet dropped for a second, so I'm just going to ask that one again.
Oh, I see. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So were there any other measures that you used to determine the success of the program?
In the survey, we included really the measures that we set out to achieve. So that gave us the understanding of the success. We did not do any other types of surveys or results testing. So that was it.
Okay. And was there a return on, so that's essentially a return on expectation. Was there a return on investment as well? Do you know that?
We didn't do that analysis. We actually, one of the things we could have done better, and maybe a recommendation for the others, is to start measuring things before you start the program and then measure them also after. Because that would have given us a better understanding about what kind of measures might change as a result of the program.
Yes, I mean, I know that some other organizations have used things like retention rates, for example, or at the beginning of a program and at the end. So yes.
We did not analyze that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And in the future, I mean, because you would have finished doing this when in the middle of 2020, was it? When did you finish?
Yes.
Yeah. So how sustainable is the coaching culture in OMIFCO now?
It's just my opinion. And what I hear from the person who was administrating the whole program is that, the changes are still lasting, that people have learned to behave differently and are rewarded for their different behavior. So it's just, without any actual facts, I would say it is very sustainable.
Okay. And that's kind of the bit around the culture change, isn't it? That it's changed the culture. Do you have any tips for coaches or organizations who may be thinking of implementing a coaching culture?
Absolutely. Sort of like what we were thinking, that what made the program a success, one of the most important things was the absolute support of the top management. Second was that the program was linked to the company strategy, that they wanted to implement a different culture. Then the third is also that there is enough people for it to be sustainable. It doesn't help if, in a big company you only coach 2 or 3 people, or you only coach one team. It doesn't make the culture sustainable. And it's also having the structure around that helps it keep going. The incentive programs and also that, when you're measured on your proactivity, initiative taking, and all of that, then you're more likely to want to implement that as well. And one of the really, purely what made it a joy to work with OMIFCO was that they had a fantastic administrator who was really supportive of me as a coach, and was helping organize everything and get people together and sort out the calendars, because you're talking of program of caliber, and trying to coordinate senior teams' calendars is quite a feat. And Juma from OMIFCO did an excellent job with that.
Okay, lovely. Anything else that you want to add?
What I would really encourage coaches to do is to look at this Prism Award criteria, and when they are planning a coaching program with any company, to already think about it this way, that I want to create a Prism Award winning program, and then set it up this way, because I didn't do that. I didn't even think about that I could ever win an award for that. But now, going back, it was more like, okay, we did the right thing, but I wish I would have actually consciously set up some measurements in beforehand and all of that. So it's a great structure, and you can learn so much when you follow that structure, and it will help you in your work.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Ave, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much.